Hello everyone, I am Rajesh, a student of IIM Trichy. I am part of the PGPBM 1820 batch and this video is part of my learning from the Indian Economics and Policy course. The topic of interest for this video is India's transformation towards a cash-light society and the benefits. The topics that I am going to cover are: what is a cashless society? Is it even possible to have a cashless society? Why India is a cash-obsessed economy? The government vision towards a cash-light society and the benefits that we will get out of it. Let's start with what is a cashless society. It's an economic state where the financial transactions are not conducted with money in the form of physical banknotes or coins, but the financial transactions are conducted via the digital medium. It's always existed from the time the human society came into existence because barter system is the method of a cashless transaction economy. To simply put, a cashless society is a system where no physical cash is in circulation. If you look at any economy, it is not possible to have a cashless society, but it is possible to have a cash-light society or an economy. Let's look at why India is a cash-obsessed economy. The India sector can be divided into two parts. One, which is a tech and an internet savvy. The other one is slightly far behind if you think about the auto rickshaw, the cycle walas. A split amongst the organized and the unorganized retail sector will not be a shock because the unorganized retail sector account for 90% of the transactions. When this disparity is happening, is it even possible to talk about a cash-light economy? Our economy is so much cash-based. If you look at the big MNC companies who had brought in e-commerce, they also had to provide a cash-on-delivery mechanism. The rate of cash to GDP for India is the highest, it's 12.4%, versus if you compare some of the other larger economies, it's about 5%. In fact, in 2015, 78% of all consumer payments were done in cash in India. In this modern era, don't you think that it is backward, unscientific and also uneconomic? Let's look at a report from the Institute for Business in Global Context, which talked about the cost of cash in India. The Reserve Bank of India and the commercial banks face a total of 21,000 crores, which is $3.5 billion for currency operation cost annually. The ATM transactions in India are worth more than the point of sale payment transactions, the opposite to what we find in rich countries. There is a cost associated with creating new currency, creating the currency chest, managing our ATM. India has been able to surpass many countries in terms of the mobile devices, but if you look at the financial penetration using the mobile devices, we are far behind even Kenya and Nigeria. They use more mobile transactions compared to us. Now, let's get into what the government has been doing. If you look at the Digital India program, which is a flagship program of the government of India, its vision is to transform India into a digitally empowered society and a knowledge economy. Its key mantra is faceless, paperless and cashless. Demonetization was one of the first steps that took us into a cashless economy, a cash-light economy rather, I would say. It made financial inclusion possible of getting the low-income people to have access to the financial system. The direct benefit transfer, the BIM scheme, the unified payment interface are also a step towards a cash-light economy. If you look at the report from TRAI in 2016, 82 out of 100 citizens in India own a mobile phone. We have been able to take ourselves and get ourselves into the telecom ecosystem. And with that said, it is possible for us to get into a CashLite economy. Let's look at the RBI payment and settlement system in India, their vision for 2019 and 21. Their aim is to transform India into a CashLite economy and also ensure that it has a state-of-the-art payment and settlement system. It has also predicted that there will be 100% annual growth rate for the payment systems like UPI, IMPS. Let's touch upon some of the key aspects of the policy. The policy covers third-party risk management, system-wide security, a framework for collecting data on frauds, drafting a framework for testing the resilience on this payment system, and even benchmarking India's payment system. Now look at this, where the government of India, the RBI, are collectively working towards programs and initiatives that will take us into a CashLite economy. What are the benefits? Cost reduction, reduction in the risk of carrying money, the convenience of having or making financial transactions 24/7, a way for tracking the spends, increase in the tax base of the economy, also containment of the parallel economy. It gives financial inclusion for the low income households and a viable option for them to enter and get benefit from the digital India. We also have to agree that it's not as easy as we think. There are going to be hurdles. 60% of the Indian population belongs to a rural region. They are not comfortable using computers. They are not comfortable using mobile phones. 90% of the Indian labor market is informal. Under all those circumstances, informal labor market will be heavily dependent on cash. With this said, the government should focus more on how to get the people in the rural region educated and have access to these modern mobile phones and technologies. How can we get our labor market into more of a formal and get them into the payment system? If the government continues on these initiatives, I'm confident that India will be a CashLite economy in another 5 to 10 years. Thank you.